Hi everyone, this is Angie at Stampin' with Amore, and today I'm going to share this little box that holds the Bath and Body Works candles, and I love these little candles. Look at these. These are so adorable, and they would make a really cute like birthday gift or a wedding favor or a baby shower favor even, you know, something really cute. But these are so adorable, and they're not real expensive either at Bath and Body Works, so that's where you can get those. So you can see in here that I have it's Cherry Blossom Sangria one, and these smell amazing, especially when they're burning. So I'm sharing this box today, and it's using some of our new in colors, so you're getting a little sneak peek. And this is the Watermelon Wonder, and look at this lace trim ribbon. Isn't that adorable? And it ties really nice. It's got a little bit of a stretch to it. Super pretty. And then the other one that we're going to do is going to be with the I have to look again, mint macaroon. And actually it could be mint macaron, which I think that's how it's really supposed to be pronounced. But here is that color. And so to get started with this, we're going to need a piece of 11.5 by 8 3/4. Isn't that pretty? And then for the inside piece, you're going to need a piece that's 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. A window sheet piece that's 2.5 by 2. And then you are going to need some scrap. I'm using Very Vanilla for the little frame on this one, and for the tag. So you'll need some scrap Very Vanilla. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started scoring this. So on the 11.5 inch side, we're going to go ahead and score it at 1/2 inch. We'll get that blade out of the way. And then we're going to score it at 3 1/4. And at 6. And at 8 3/4. And then we're going to turn it, and we're going to score it on an 8 3/4 side at 1/2 inch. And then 3 1/4. And at 6. So it's almost the same. It's a pretty square box. And while we have this out, let's score our little piece for the inside that holds it in place. And this is a 1/2 inch on both sides of the 3 3/4 inch side. So score it at 1/2 on this side, and then 1/2 on this side. And it's just going to make it so you have a little pedestal inside that holds it in place. Okay, so that's it. So let's go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and cut this. Now the first thing you're going to do is you are going to cut this whole area right here off. There's two little oblong square here and a little corner, so we're going to cut that. And then we're going to cut this other long one off. So we're going to have our glue tab there. And I'm going to get my big scissors out so I can cut a little bit straighter. Okay, so now the next thing that we're going to do is this is going to be our flat piece right here that closes the box. So we're going to go ahead on this side, and this is the side that has that 1/2 inch there. So we're going to, let's go ahead and just cut up each one of these. It's going to make it easier to show you. And then now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut this flap right here. We're going to keep this end flap that's near this 1/2 inch edge, and we're going to cut this flap right off. I think I need the little scissors for this, but I'm going to go ahead and... Now the reason I kept these two here is because we're going to create some little inside flaps that hold the box top up. So I'm just going to eyeball this, and I'm just going to cut like 1 inch there, and I can make that a little straighter. This way we don't have to measure it out. We're just going to cut these off. And it's not real critical, you know, I like it to be straight, but it's going to be on the inside of your box. And if you're real particular, you can measure if you like. So that's it. Let's cut the bottom flaps up. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to punch our oval, and we're going to punch it right here. This is going to be the front of the box, so I'm going to take my large oval punch, and we're going to put it in, and I put it in all the way until, let's fold these back, it makes it easier, until it stops. Try to center that, and then just punch. And then the next thing that we're going to do is put our window in. So I'll grab the window sheet, and I'm going to use some, if I can find what I did with it, oh, here it is, some score tape just to hold that on. Holes as well. I'm really testing it out, so if it doesn't, I'm going to switch to something else. And then we're coming out with another double-sided tape too in our new catalog, so I'm anxious to try that. Now these new in colors will not be available till June 2nd. So let's put that on. Okay, now we're ready to put this box together. Let's sharpen up all our score marks. Okay, now one other thing that we're going to do is on this bottom piece, we are going to punch a circle, and we're going to use our 1 3/4 inch punch. And again, just try to center that in the middle. And then that'll be ready to put on the inside when we get this all put together. Again, I'm going to use some score tape to put it together. I'm sorry if you hear the lawnmower, because I think my husband decided he was going to mow the lawn. It's really wet out there. We're in Texas, and we've gotten so much rain, and I mean our backyard is like, but he's been wanting to mow it, so I guess he decided he's gonna do it before we get another rainstorm. Okay, so now we're ready to put the flaps in, and this front flap will always go to the back. So go ahead and fold all these. We'll put some more score tape on the bottom. I do like that you can tear this. It makes it easier, and it's not as staticky as the sticky strip. But so here's the top is what I'm talking about. So I'm going to grab my corner rounder, and I'm going to round these corners right here. Now this inside piece is ready to be put in. So you just slide it in here. Oh, I like to put this to the front so you can't see. So that will slide right down in there just like that, so you can stick, and I guess I'll put the vanilla bean marshmallow. Smells so good in there. It fits just like that. So we're going to close that up. And see, those little flaps hold this this lid up. I like that about that. So I'm going to grab some of my Very Vanilla and let's go ahead and stamp. The stamp sets that I'm using is this Tag Talk, and I'm going to use the Wedded Bliss on this one, and then we're going to use the Papillon Potpourri butterfly, and I'm going to go ahead and use the same butterfly for that. Okay, so let me grab my macaron, and we'll stamp the Wedded Bliss. This is the first time I'm stamping with this, so y'all are going to get to see for first hand. Now this is Very Vanilla. It looks so pretty. I love this. And then we're going to do the butterfly. Okay, so pretty. I'm loving the new colors too. So we're going to use our label bracket for the Wedded Bliss to punch that out. And then we're going to use our Elegant Butterfly for the butterfly. And I think I'm going to have to cut this a little bit. I should have done it the other way, stamped it the other way so I can get it in instead of it being backwards. I'm going to have to use my little handy piece. And I don't know if you've all seen this, but if you have a little short piece, just stick a piece of snail on there and then you can hold this butterfly so you can punch it if you get upside down like I just did. Okay, so let's get this all put together. So I'm going to grab the lace trim. Look how pretty. I love this lace trim. It's super pretty. You need to put a hole in the top of this so we can lace it through. Let me make sure I have enough to tie a bow, and I'm going to put this through here. And let me see if I could tie it on with it on the spool, because I definitely do not want to, no, I'm not going to be able to do that because I'm going to have to go backwards. Yeah, maybe I can. It ties really nice and it's super pretty. Okay, get those ribbon scissors out. See, wouldn't that make a really adorable wedding favor? Next thing we're gonna do is what I did was I used my Labels Collection framelit, which is this size right here, and I went ahead and ran that through the Big Shot. Now I'm going to grab a little oval like that I punched out. This is like a little template, and I'm going to center it on here. Try to get it as centered as possible, and we're using that as a little template so that we can punch it out. Now let me grab my little holder here, and I'm going to use my oval punch again. Try to line that up right on those lines. See if I can do that. Okay, so there's our little frame. Now what we're going to do is, first I'm going to erase a little line there, and then we're going to add it to the front of our box. Just use some snail. should fit right over. I think I got this little circle a little bit too far down. I think it'll be fine, but okay, so now we're ready to attach our little butterfly, and I want to use a glue dot for that. Put him on here, and I'm going to grab some rhinestones. Not some rhinestones, I'm going to use the pearls, the little tiny pearls, and I use about 3 of them on here. Oh, got one on my thumb. And now we're just going to put those in the center. Okay, so there you have it. This one is the mint macaron, and here is the watermelon wonder. Aren't they pretty? I like that I put this window a little bit up further, so when you're doing that, try to get it where it's centered a little bit better. I didn't do a very good job on that one, but anyway, they're super cute, and I love the Wedded Bliss, and I love this color too. It's so pretty. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. If you need any product, you can go to my blog at stampinwithamore.com and shop right from my blog. I'll have everything listed there, but again, you can't get any of the new in colors until June 2nd when our new catalog goes live, which is coming very shortly. So stay tuned, and I will see you later. Thank you, everyone. Bye.